Carson, what's up? He says, is IFTTT still a strategy that Semantic Mastery uses? I've recently tried to set up a single tiered network, but noticed IFTTT free subscription doesn't offer more than 2 recipes or applets, they're called now. If so, is there an alternative that you've been using? Yeah, it's called Brand Expander. I've for years I haven't been doing syndication work in years. We've kept Syndication Academy going, but we've been pretty clear about not using it's not necessary to set up the IFTTT applets and do syndication anymore. Why we kept Syndication Academy going was because our trainer SE has been training on identifying Web 2.0 and various types of properties on the web that we can create a profile on, brand it, optimize it, and then interlink it with other properties or profiles. That's why we're rebranding Syndication Academy to Brand Expander, because we're not syndicating anymore. At least we're not teaching that. You can certainly still do it, but I don't. In my own agency, I don't anymore because there was a declining effect. And then also over time, it just became harder and harder to manage and maintain syndication networks because, things break, Web 2.0s terminate, IFTTT hiccups, and you have to reconnect services and that. And over time, once you get past a certain, if you only got a handful of clients, fine. But when you have dozens and dozens of clients or projects that you're managing or whatever, it becomes very hard to try to manage and maintain those networks. And it's not really, in my opinion, as effective as it used to be. It used to be that was super effective. And that's all I would do for several, like three, maybe even 4 years. That's all I did to get results for local clients. But over time, that had declining effect, the syndication part of it, I mean. But what I found really helps is to continually expand the branded footprint for a specific, project, and especially for local. And what I mean by that is identifying Web 2.0 properties, social media properties, those types of things that you can create a profile on, optimize it, interlink it with other profiles, and then, what I call assist with discoverability. That means force Google to recognize it. That's where the ID page comes in, and the G sheet, the stuff that I was talking about earlier. Because you reference all of that information in that G sheet. Every time you create a new branded profile, you include it in that G sheet that's embedded in the ID page. The ID page should be referenced in the add ID field of the local business schema on the money site. So Google is aware of the ID page. You build links to the ID page, which because of the G sheet that has all the branded profile URLs linked in that G sheet, then when you build links, you can push topical relevance, keyword relevance, link equity, etc., geographic relevance. If you're using geographic links, you can push all of that into the ID page, which then distributes out across all of the branded assets, which basically you're powering up the entire local entity and all of its branded and supporting assets in one fell swoop through that ID page. And so Brand Expander is about building branded profiles and interlinking them and properly and all of that, because that's where I found the best effect is now, is not from the syndication, but from continually expanding the entity footprint or the brand footprint and, forcing Google to recognize it. And that's what we do with the ID page. So good question. But yeah, I mean, if you've only got like one of our mastermind members, he's just working on a blog. He's not a local guy. He's just working on a blog. And he's spent a lot of time recently kind of reviving the IFTTT network that he's had and all of that. And so it is, it's still relevant, but unless you, if you're going to be managing, like if it's for multiple projects, I don't recommend it because it's too much work and it's not as effective as it used to be anyway.